his hip against the desk next to my chair. "Are you lying?" I held up my index finger and thumb just a fraction apart. "A bit. Though my statements are true, they aren't the reason I want to go to Paris." "That's the best way to spin a tale. Keep it as truthful as possible. I must say you didn't give yourself away. I'm impressed." My cheeks grew warm with his praise. "Thank you, darling. So I've passed the examination, have I?" George was something of an investigator. He'd worked for the Home Office for many years, even infiltrating criminal groups to uncover evidence of their illicit activity. He still accepted the occasional assignment from the government, but recently we had been working on more personal investigations. And yes, I did say we. I've assisted in George's investigations and tackled one or two of my own as well. Though I didn't have his expertise, I was learning. It was 1900, after all. Time for women to declare they could do more than decorate a man's arm or his table. "You have most definitely passed," he said. "Not so much as a blush or twitch of those lovely blue eyes of yours." He cupped my chin with his palm and pressed a kiss against my lips. "Now," he said, propping a leg on the desk, "I'll take the truth, if you please. Why Paris? Why now?" "Well, the part about our wedding trip is completely true. First, my family caused a delay in our plans. Then you had to heal from your injuries. I had thought we'd go somewhere after you recovered, but then you took an assignment, and quite honestly, I fear we've fallen into a routine and are on the verge of becoming dull." George's mouth formed a grimace as I spoke. Perhaps a little less truth would be better. He held up his hands as if measuring. "There must be a suitable place for me between perfect husband and dullard." "Perhaps dull was too harsh," I said, "but I do believe it's time we share some excitement. If I can't run off with you to some romantic hideaway, at least we can go somewhere interesting, entertaining, and enjoyable, where we can take Rose. Thus, the Paris Exposition. I might even get a look at my new niece." My sister Lily had married Leo Kendrick last October and had almost immediately moved to France for Leo's business. She'd given birth to a daughter early in May. Both sides of the family chose to ignore the timing. Leo's parents had met little Amelia Jane already. In fact, Patricia Kendrick, Leo's mother, had taken an apartment in Paris due to her work with Britain's Royal Commission for the Exposition. Lily and Leo had left their home in Lille and moved in with Patricia when the baby was due, so Lily would have the advantage of a Parisian doctor. That was 2 months ago, however. Lily and her family had returned to their home, but even so, Lille was only a train ride away from Paris. "I do miss my sister terribly," I continued. "It's very hard to hear how wonderful my niece is from Patricia Kendrick. She is a lovely woman, and yes, she's the child's grandmother, but she's still a third party. I'd like to see the baby for myself. In fact, Hetty might wish to come too." Hetty was my aunt. It was she who had brought Lily to London from New York City over a year ago now. After Lily married, Hetty had stayed in London, then had taken over the lease on my house when I married George. George tipped his head, which caused a lock of dark hair to fall across his forehead. He swept it back. "This sounds as though you weren't lying to me at all." I already admitted part of what I'd said was true. "And the other part?" "That letter you received from France." I wiggled a finger toward his side of the desk. "How did you know it was from France?" "It has French postage. I have the power of vision." I gave him a wink. "Quite the detective, aren't I?" "Is this a roundabout way of asking who is writing to me from France?" I lifted my cup to my lips, realized the tea had gone cool, and set it back down, conscious of George's regard. "All right, I suspect the letter involves an assignment. If it does, I'd like to be part of it." I arched a brow. "Does it?" "Not exactly an assignment, more of a request." I waited for more. George stared silently at his hands. "Isn't that how it all works?" I prompted. "First you receive a request. Once you accept, it becomes an assignment. Does it involve going to Paris, and do you intend to accept?"